What is up, everybody? Dan and the Fireman here. Today, we're going to be talking about these 3 motorcycle close calls and a crash. Now, let's go ahead and take a quick look over here. We have a common interstate merging close call. It's a mouthful, that's what she said. But we're going to be talking about this lane filtering close call, too. This is very common. I don't want you guys making the same mistake. And then we're going to be going over a Lowside crash. But let's go ahead and talk about it inside the classroom. So follow me. All right, so we're moving through here.
On the road in which the driver believes that the indicator light allows him to take no notice of the priority right or look in the mirror.
I think we've already talked about this. This person's just gonna come in. There it is, the blind spot. So good escape path. He located the hazard, adapted to it by getting into the shoulder, which is going to be his escape. Got back in, didn't fight for position to get in front because we have a turn coming up. If he fought for position coming up here and he was accelerating super fast, he wouldn't be prepared for the turn. So he did a good job here. Let's just go ahead and recap it real quick. So he's getting off into this area, and we are caddy corner with this car right here. So we are in the blind spot just across multiple lanes. Okay, so now we don't anticipate that the car is going to come in front of us, but we should always be worried about little things like that. So definitely right here, he used his horn. That is his perceiving and then reacting. Now it's time to do some type of braking or type of red stage maneuver, and that's what he does. So now he realizes that person's not going to pay attention. We're going to go ahead and roll off the throttle, apply some brakes, and then swerve to the right. We rev bombed. I wouldn't have done that, but we got ourselves in a better position. Now look at what we can do. We can swerve right even more. We can accelerate, decelerate. Best option right here, especially with the turn coming up, is decelerate, which is what he's going to do. Let him in. Shake your head. Go ahead. That's perfectly fine. Now we're going to get ourselves in this position. Look at the line of sight. This is a good position for safety. Not a good position for space cushion, but just in case something happens, we can do what we just did. But he's going to roll off the throttle even more and let that car get ahead, and now we have a good line of sight, good space cushion. We have multiple escape routes. So overall, a good one. You have to keep modulating what you're doing to stay safe. All right, so we're going to be lane filtering. Okay, we got cut off a little bit, not a big deal. Cars change lanes all the time. What do we... Dude, what? Well, no. That can't be it. That can't be it. So we're going to be riding through here, and there's that big open lane pattern that I talk about all the time. So this big open lane right here. So if the big open lane is there, and then maybe this person right here is stuck behind this person right here, they're going a little slow, we're just going to be like, hey, I want to switch lanes. And they totally can. They got their blinker. If they don't have their blinker, it doesn't really matter. They can change lanes. At no point were we in danger. You should anticipate these types of things when it comes to lane filtering. Okay, you need to understand that people are going to change lanes in front of you. So that means you need to pay attention. That means you need to find your escape paths, position for safety, locate hazards, adapt to hazards. Plan your ride on this. So he's going to go ahead and switch into that lane, and we're going to get pissed. Look how it's perfectly fine. We can apply some good brake pressure, and then we can get ourselves out of this situation. Not wearing full gear is putting yourself at more of a risk if you do crash. So let's not do that. Yeah, that was a non-issue. That was kind of dumb. That was actually really dumb. All right, we're riding. Oh, we hit something. No, it's just curbs. All right, we're passing people. You do you. It's all up to you. Oh, what do you call that? Man, these are quick. What do you call that? What kind of crash? It's a low side. It's a low side, everybody. So we're going around these vehicles. You see how it's a little jostling? Okay, that's a suspension. It's perfectly natural. When you're riding, you probably don't even feel it. But we're pushing it really hard. So we're going to push it hard in a left turn, and we immediately dump the bike. Now, what is a major cause of low sides when it comes to motorcycle riders? Just normal motorcycle riders. It's typically going to be too much speed. So if we get too much speed going into the turn, right? We're getting too much speed. We're like, oh, we're going too much. Well, I'm just going to push more and more and more and more and try to countersteer more and more and more. So the bike is now leaning super duper far over. When that happens, you're starting to scrape hard parts like this, and that's going to reduce traction. It's going to lift up that tire just a little bit. Also, if you're this far over, you're only on like the smallest contact patch. And the one thing that you can do right now is just slow it down before a turn. Slow look, press, and roll. What are we doing here? Racing? Okay, if we're racing, everyone else is going to be passing you up now that you crashed. It's as simple as that. Leaned too far, back tire slipped, and the peg hit the ground and sent him sliding. Climb and bride 420, yeah. All right, moving on with this.
Whose right is definitely well thought out.
The red lights, there's a lot of red lights up ahead, so careful. People are stopping. You're going to switch lanes. Watch out for that right turner. Non-issue. Non-issue. We're all over the place too. Yellow light, we're going to apply the brakes. Okay. Well, this is an AAR. Good job on this rider. It's a nice AAR. So here's the thing. So here's the difference with mine. So let's watch it one more time. So we're going at pretty good speed. You know, pretty good speed for the area. The lead biker is going to be in front, obviously.
Right is definitely well thought out, which will be explained in detail in a moment.
All right, so we switched lanes because we have an open lane. That's what I see. We also have somebody wanting to get into that open lane because their lane is backed up. That is a typical driver, typical rider. That's exactly what we are doing too. So when we are doing it, we can't fault the driver for wanting to do it too. Now, that driver did not go out and say, I'm going to take it, when we typically see motorcycle riders go out in front of car drivers and say, we're going to take it. So there's two different kinds. Now, I'm not going to put that on this rider because he hasn't done that yet, but we're going to move over and we just adapted to this hazard. You see the big open line, that's why they wanted to switch lanes. All right, now that we understand that, let's see what his AAR is. Okay, so let's see the first part. So leading bike warns cager with a horn. I am switching lane to avoid collision. Now, here's the thing. Who says we could just go and we never have to slow down and stop? Where does it say in the motorcycle manual or any type of training course that if there is something in your way, just thread the needle? I'm curious because that's what we're doing. So the leading bike warns cager with a horn. Okay, cool. Thank you. Awesome bike leader. You're going to switch lanes to avoid a collision. Okay, that's perfect. That's an adaptation to what you need to do, planning your ride. Very good. So if we're doing that and that vehicle is still taking our lane, why are we trying to thread needles? Like what tells motorcycle riders that they should just do this? Now, I get it. Vehicle isn't slowing down, I use the horn. We're not really slowing down ourselves. This person wants to get in, I let them in, and they go, and then I go. It's a non-issue. I don't understand why we have to keep trying to fight for the lane. It's like, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Because if we get into this position and this car driver decides, screw you, I'm going to do it anyways, you got hit. The common denominator here is you're getting close to a vehicle. So if we allow vehicles to get in, we're being courteous defensive riders. Nobody's going to get hit. The only concern at that point is anybody coming up behind me. Just downshift and let the car in. So colleague on my right is slowing down to make some room. So that's another thing, is that we're going to go ahead and move over. This vehicle pushes him. This motorcycle rider pushes his friend. And that friend might hit the pole, might hit the curb. Why don't you and your friend just slow down, let the person in, and then go? I don't know. There's just like a different mentality that I see with a lot of motorcycle riders is, oh, there's an area, I'm never going to slow down, I'm just going to go. I'm not going to slow down for that person. They're kind of half in my lane. I'm going to go around them. This person's coming out left me, I'm just use the horn. I'm not going to slow down. I'm not going to swerve for this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. It doesn't make any sense to me. It does not make any sense. Maybe because I come from a position of where I started off driving. I did fire trucks, I did ambulances, and I couldn't thread needles like this. I think there might be just a screwy thing with training, and maybe I need a better way of explaining it, which I'm going to come up with. Part of being a smart rider is acquiring and utilizing personal protective equipment, so make sure you grab yourself a jacket just like this one from Renzzi using the link in the description. It's an affiliate link. It helps me out. No extra cost to you. Plus, it lets Renzzi know that the DanDan crew is pretty badass, and they actually grab some gear. Anyways, click that link. I'll see you soon.